What is up, guys, gals, and you awesome means and gamers of different shapes and sizes. It is me, Josh on Proxy, bringing you some Dauntless today on the PlayStation 4 Pro, and it's actually pretty freaking awesome. I'm kind of enjoying this game now. I don't know if it's because it ended up introducing kind of like a challenge in the game. Initially, I was kind of worried that this game was very much Monster Hunter Light, and in the sense of it being Monster Hunter Light, it would also be Monster Hunter uberly accessible, but then I ended up playing some of the later monsters, and oh my goodness, this game actually gets a little bit epic, which I quite enjoy, and I'm wondering if I should keep playing it? What do you think? Comment section below, let me know. Have you been playing Dauntless? Would love to know. Also, this map is amazing. I'm loving the color usage in it. You've got all these, like, turquoises and blues and whites. You know that I love snow, right? It's like even the most dreamlandish freezer ever, and I just want to stay. I want to build a home. I want to start a family. I don't know with what, because there's only myself. You can love yourself, but I don't know if you can love yourself that much. We are currently trying to find the Skraev, an owl beast. It's quite damaging, especially when it comes to teammates who aren't really working together, and this is kind of why I've ended up going into the support role. So initially when I started playing this game, I ended up realizing that you could use twin pistols. There is some kind of like range class in this game, and it's this kind of thing where it's not really like Monster Hunter per se, where you'd have like the giant cannons and stuff like that, but you can have these twin pistols. There might be other things later on. There might actually be another weapon like this, but what I've come across is that you only have twin pistols if you want to be a ranged character. Everything else is kind of like different melee types. Also, I heard there's chain blades in this game. I really want to try that out. But with the ranged kind of like class, you have these two twin pistols, which are really awesome, really cool, kind of like steampunky in design. And initially I was kind of like, oh, you just get these guns and then you kind of like level them up, and then you just keep shooting over and over again. But they actually have kind of like an intricate kind of like mechanic system, kind of like the other weapons too, where like say if you're using the axe or the sword and stuff, you have your R1 ability and you have all these different combos as well. And the dual pistols actually has all this stuff too, especially along with there actually being customizable things with it as well when it comes to like the weapon types and stuff, because obviously you have these pistols, and with these pistols it's not kind of like you go like say buy the fire pistols or you go buy the ice pistols or the lightning pistols. You instead get your pistols and then you customize them with different parts, with like a barrel, a handle, and a chamber, and each piece kind of like determines a different thing that goes on to creating your pistols. So currently I have, I believe I think this is the time when I actually have the mine upgrade. So I have the mine, I also have fire barrels, so as you can see I've kind of got these like exhaust pipes coming out of my guns as well. And you can have different ones. You can have things like arc reactors coming out of them with like Tesla coils and stuff, and so obviously we're fighting like an ice-based enemy, so I ended up going for kind of like the fire barrel. But then you also have like your chamber, which can actually be a different ability, so your special ability, which is your square ability for your pistols at least, and this is actually where you can have things like I've got a mine, or you can have a charge shot and stuff, or maybe the other way around. I think it's the triangle button. You can have like say a weapon boost for your teammates, so you'll throw down like a weapon pad and then they can pick it up and it'll give them like a damage boost. Or which I ended up doing was I ended up changing it to a throwable mine, and the mine actually does loads of damage, so I've ended up finding that actually the mine probably is way cooler. The Skraev initiating the combat and not getting ambushed whatsoever. It knows we are coming. It is ready to kick some serious butt cheeks, but not my butt cheeks, because remember I am the Proxy and I'm all about kicking the butt cheeks myself. And so what we're going to see here is pretty much flat out support gameplay, and it's it's really epic. I'm just loving this. It's this kind of thing where kind of like how Monster Hunter World has that whole kind of like co-op ability to it. There was kind of like this chaos to it where you didn't really know what the other players were doing half the time. They all had all these like crazy combinations of weapons and armor, and you were just kind of like, what the fudge is going on? It had an immense accessibility when it came to joining matches, which is really cool. And this game also borrows this. Dauntless has some really cool matchmaking abilities, especially when it just comes to finding a team of randoms to play with. And that is the worry when it comes to games like this, is that you want people that are capable, that are awesome. And what was cool is that we're actually getting a capable team. We actually have another ranged fighter on my team too, so we have two ranged supports and then two melee fighters, which is quite a good combination. I think it kind of like balances itself out in a way. I believe that my teammate, who is also support with the pistols too, is throwing down the weapon buff, which is good. So that means that my teammates that are using swords are able to use those weapon buffs, while I'm actually kind of going for the full DPS thing. The Skraev, as you can see, can actually throw down these crazy kind of like ice shots, which actually freezes you in place, your teammates can actually shoot or hit you out of them. And this is again that really cool thing about team play, where it's like, even though you can find matchmakeable players to play with, it's this thing where everybody can help each other. You can actually shoot the ice, they can hit and shoot the ice, they can actually help you out of a sticky spot, which I love. I think that's really, really cool. And you can do other things as well, like say, as you can see on the bottom right, you have those kind of like quick use abilities, like weapons and grenades and stuff. You can have things like air strikes, or you can have like healing grenades, but it's not just a healing grenade, it's where you throw it at the enemy and it kind of like siphons health from them, and those health orbs go out to your teammates. So again, if you really want to be a support player like I love being, you can do that. I really love being a support player. When it came to Monster Hunter World, I was kind of going for the opposite. I really wanted to be like an attacker and stuff. It was kind of like going out of my comfort zone because I love being a medic. And so in this, it really allows me to enjoy being that medic way, way more. You're going to notice as well that my teammates are getting down quite a bit. I have to be quite tactical when it comes to saving their butt cheeks because the Skraev is obviously attacking us at the exact same time. But it was this thing where I ended up noticing that my teammates were kind of zombie automatic running towards my downfallen teammates, my brethren, my sisters of battle. And it was this thing where I was kind of like just holding myself back because your teammates do get down, but they do actually have quite a long bleed out time, or it seems like they just don't even have a bleed out time. I never saw any of my teammates fall in battle. They just got downed and then they just never died. It was that kind of thing where we just ended up picking each other up. And I've not been down myself yet. I've been utilizing that role. I've been utilizing that kind of like quick move as well. You have another gadget, you may see it flopping around on my butt cheeks too, which is actually this ability that allows me to have, I think, around 12 seconds of speed. So I kind of like get to jog a lot faster. So you'll see my hips are shaking half the time. But compared to like the other abilities, you can have different ones that say like give you a partial damage buff again, or you could have things that give you like a temporary shield and stuff too. But I've been actually doing it so I can increase my speed when it comes to running around, because obviously I want to protect myself. I'm not very dependent on when it comes to the kind of like the shields and like the damage buffs stuff, because they don't last very long. And it's that thing where you want to try and survive for as long as possible, and if you're getting something like a shield which only protects you for a certain amount of hit points, really you want to be dodging, because you are hopping all over the place, you are dodging attacks. And so that's what I've been trying to do. You can see one of my mines on the left here. Oh, no, it just broke. I was hoping he was going to get attacked by this Skraev, but he did not land on it. Some really cool attacks by the Skraev, by the way. Loving the animations too. He does these swooping attacks as the ice attacks. We're knocking it down for the count. We're doing some pretty nice damage to what you saw there. My mind does around about 433 damage. We've knocked out one of its eyebrows. It's going to be doing some kind of like rock. I was just imagining it then as well, like Dwayne Johnson's The Rock, you know, where he does like the eyebrow thing. Basically this owl is doing that throughout the entire thing. The beast owl, the owl beast, is doing a Dwayne The Rock Johnson eyebrow maneuver throughout the entire... Look at that, look at that. He looks awesome. He looks epic. I love it. But still causing a little bit of trouble, and it's this thing as well where, kind of like with Monster Hunter, you don't know the health of the enemy. You can only kind of like signify it based on the damage that has been done to its body, so you'll see things like scratches and bits of body parts falling off, like eyebrows it seems. And so with that, you have to just kind of like be really persistent. You have to just keep going onwards with the struggle. And one thing to be said about that is that even though your teammates get down, you can't just keep being persistent with the damage. This isn't a, say, win-win situation. It's not just kind of like standing here and throwing bullets at him, or swords, or sticks, or elastic bands, doing. It's more kind of like a thing of every single time that you get downed, the boss is kind of like one step closer to winning. So as we saw here, this is kind of like halfway through the fight. I believe that when you get like down to about half health, it'll start to run away. And I wonder if this is the case for all of the bosses. I'm not too sure. Some bosses I've ended up fighting with teams, we've ended up just kind of like laying the smack down on it, and it's ended up just kind of like dying in like the first encounter. But at least for this boss, he ended up running away. And it seems to be kind of like halfway through the match. So it's one of these things where I wonder if the halfway point is where it kind of like runs away to kind of like make you try and find it again. But as I was saying about that whole thing where it isn't just this thing of just being persistent and stubborn and just fighting it over and over and over again, it's a thing where you may notice on the top right you have this kind of like growing percentage meter. Now what this growing percentage meter does is that whenever your teammates get down and you bring them back, it actually increases something called like the danger meter, the danger level or something like that. And what that means is that the higher it goes, the less chance you actually have of actually reviving your teammates. So if it gets to 100, it means that there'll be no revives left. That means that when your teammates are down, they are down for the count. And you're going to see that. And this is not something that I actually knew about, because this is the first time in a boss I actually experienced this, where I was fighting this boss and it was just smashing all of my teammates left and right. And it was this thing as well where I was keeping my distance, as you can see here, look, sometimes getting caught by it when it tries to like focus on me, but it does this really cool kind of like bird bomb, I guess you could say, which just like flies up into the air and tries to smash at you. And again, it's all about dodging at the right time. It is catching me off guard sometimes when it does like direct ice throws and stuff, which I haven't really learned to dodge properly yet. But when it comes to its kind of like physical maneuvers where it's coming like at me, like I think this might be one right here, look, it's gonna end up like swooping down at you. These ones are really manageable to dodge. And it's this kind of thing where if you're able to kind of like take on the brunt of the action from it, and I'm wondering if there is actually a way of actually kind of like aggroing the enemy, if there's actually abilities later on that allow you to do that too. But it's this thing where if you're able to aggro him, you can actually do some really good dodge maneuvers too for yourself. Wow, that was really close. I think when it does that one, it freezes you, or when it does the one where it's kind of like a vertical throw of ice, that one freezes you too. There's a lot of throwing in this. This thing just likes to pale. I'm glad it's not poop. I was gonna say poop then, but I don't want poop to be thrown at my face, especially from a one-eyebrowed ice owl. My teammates are all getting their butts kicked, so we need to save them, because then who's gonna save me? As you see there, look, that was a really lucky one. He might have actually taken me out there. Wow, there, look, that right there, that thing would have frozen you in place. I was able to dodge him. Oh no, he just body slammed me, and there you go. I've just been iced. But again, my teammates can knock me out of that. So if you do actually have a teammate who is ranged, they can actually shoot you out of the ice, or hit you out of the ice, or stroke you out of the ice. I'm not kind of sure how kind of like vulnerable the ice is, or fragile, I guess. But you may notice all that my teammates are actually going down in their health on the left too. Someone has actually just been knocked down again, and also that danger meter on the top right is actually growing. Ugh, again, when it gets to 100%, you aren't able to pick up your teammates. So as you can see here, I am reviving him, but when we get to 100, that is it. It is all about that last health bar. I am so thankful that I have not died yet. Now, when it comes to healing, you do actually have a few options. You have your health grenades, you have your health potions, which I have, but you also have these like little glowing Healy fountains that kind of like come out the floor, and these are all in the different arenas that you're fighting in. So no matter where the kind of like boss goes, you actually use these kind of like ice fountains to heal yourself, and I think that's what my teammates are doing to try to stay in this fight. I'm not too sure. Shooting that ice though to make sure that my teammates aren't getting walled in. There were some times where I was getting walled in, but again, if you're able to like kind of like be very spatially aware, then you can actually shoot those ice walls down and then survive yourself and not feel trapped, not feel cornered. It's not one of those things where it's like, oh, you just have to kind of like live through it, like say the ice block where your teammates can actually save you, but it's that kind of thing where you can like mash circle. And I think it was kind of like in Monster Hunter. Again, there's a lot of comparisons to Monster Hunter here, where in Monster Hunter you'd have to kind of like hope that your little, what's it called, Piccolo, Perino, you know, the cat, would have to like come up to you if you were like confused and dazed and like bitch slap you like out of it. But in this, your teammates can kind of like, you know, get you out of the stun, which is great. We're nearly all dead. Look at this. I got barely any health. My final teammate, who is also a support, has nearly any health. And wow, that was so close. And again, that danger meter is going pretty high up there, but we've got a few more revives left in the bag. Got all of the team back into this. Barely any health again. And it's this thing where, remember, the melee attackers actually have the major disadvantage here, because it means that they will always be kind of potentially getting damage from you just like flailing at the enemy at all times, and you're just kind of like ignoring the animations that he's doing. But when you're playing as a support character, look at these dodge rolls. That was epic. I did dodge a few strong attacks that I would have been taken out. I would have been down for the count just like everybody else. I'm actually walking across one of the fountains so you can see my teammate who was healing himself. He got quite a lot of health. I think you could probably get about half of your health meter back, possibly, potentially, I'm not too sure. He keeps slapping me with that ice. I really need to learn how to get past that, but we are about to hit the 100% mark on the danger meter, and that does mean that we will be close to not being able to revive our teammates, and that is it. And you're going to see that. You're going to see my teammates getting down, and it is that kind of tense moment where it ends up just being about you. And you may notice that my pistols don't actually do that much damage, because you are in distance, and at the same time as that, you are doing kind of like rapid fire as well. So that means that your damage is not as great as, say, if you were using a melee weapon, because obviously that means that you're going to be kind of like up close and personal. There's a bit more of a risk or a reward to it too. And there we go, we have now got the danger here. Whoever is going to get knocked down is going to be gone for good now. I'm actually making sure I've got enough health here to last as long as possible. It looks like my square button is kind of like a fiery Hadouken, I guess. It's really damaging though, and remember, it's useful against these ice enemies, which is fantastic. Everybody here using as much damage output as possible, trying to revive my teammate here. This was the thing, I was like, oh, maybe I can pick him up. No, it looks like the 100% has knocked him out for good. There is only a few of us left. Actually, it seems he got back somehow. Did he maybe have like a healing revive ability or something like that? I'm not too sure, but I mean, that's all great. If we're all to work together as a team, we are actually about to knock this dude down finally. quite a quick match, I guess you could say. Not quite like elongated though, like say Monster Hunter 2, where they'll usually last about 30 to 45 minutes if it's like a super big boss. It's one of those things where it will always be fighting you, and that's something that's great. Is like compared to say Monster Hunter as well, where the monster boss would kind of like run from you and just, I don't know, make you like go on this wild goose chase around the map. These ones kind of just like do little goose chases. You know, this isn't a goose, this is a gigantic owl. But if it was a goose, you know, it would be a pretty badass goose, and it would not stand around deciding where it's going to run to next. It'll just stand around deciding who to pwn next. S+ rank for myself, not for my team. But either way, it's been me, Josh Proxy, bringing you some Dauntless. Let me know what you thought in the comment section below, and I will see you all next time. That was pretty epic. We did well, right? High five for me.